Hello and welcome to our next edition of Music Discoveries. Today we will talk about one of the most extraordinary artists of our time, Polish opera star, contralto Ewa Podles. Today I have a pleasure to welcome my old friend, pianist, vocal coach, and currently the head of the music staff at the Warsaw Opera House, Ania Marchwinska, who knew Ewa Podles both privately and professionally. Ania, it's so good to see you. Welcome to our program.
Hi, good to see you. Welcome, everybody.
Ania, you have worked with Ewa Podles for quite a long time, over 20 years,
Yes,
right?
about 20 years. Well, first of all, she's my stepmother. My father, who was also a very good pianist, used to play for her. And then unfortunately couldn't play because he had problems with his back. And then I took over. And it was a good 20 years. I started when I was still at Juilliard. So of course it was a huge deal because I was still studying and all of a sudden I was performing with the Diva in big houses. And I played my last recital with her 8 years ago in Madrid, which is where I am right now, because I'm working at Teatr Wielki right now doing a production of The Passenger by Weinberg.
Wow, so it must be very emotional for you to be working there right
Absolutely.
now.
It turned out that it was her last recital also.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
What program do you perform?
We used to have a few different programs. She was always very keen on putting at least one Polish group. So it was usually Chopin, sometimes Karlovich, sometimes Szymanowski, the three hymns. And then we would do sometimes a few arias, sometimes the cantata by Haydn, sometimes Rachmaninoff's songs. She really liked. A wonderful artist, wonderful voice, but also actually mostly thanks to my dad, who had a huge career before he even met her because he was 17 years her senior. And he really kind of made her what she was later, because he taught her how to really, really pay attention to the words, to the diction.
Co się tobie, dziewczę, stało? Skąd te duże łzy? Wszystkie wiroku przytomnień znikłych serca dar. Czujesz rozkosz dawnych wspomnień, dawnych marzeń Może ciebie róży smucą, że uwiędły już. Wróci wiosna, kwiaty wrócą, wróci chwila róż.
She made her opera debut in 1984.
Masse studi duras, vidi sveni ocuros, iris veni horror. Masse studi duras, vidi iris veni horror.
Yeah, I heard from people who knew your father that they had a special relationship. They were like soulmates, the perfect couple. Well, it's so hard to find a soulmate these days, and especially for artists. But like you said earlier, Anya, your father kind of made her. He was coaching her, he was performing with her, and obviously she listened to his musical advices, right? No?
Yes and no. I mean, they had their moments of discussion, obviously, but especially in the beginning, she was quite young when she met him. And so he was in many ways her superior, as in more experience. And they worked together a lot. They performed together. Sort of like Piotr Beczała has with his wife, because then when my dad stopped playing, he was traveling with her and with us everywhere. He was at every show, a lot of rehearsals, and he was always giving comments. They were still working together. Actually, when he stopped playing, I coached her on basically everything that she sang, all the roles, all the opera shows, everything. And first she would learn by herself, study, and then I would come and we would sit at the piano and just work on the role. And my dad would always be there, and he was always giving comments as well. So it was really quite a strong relationship. They were pretty much inseparable. He was always making sure that she was comfortable, like doing all these, random things like shopping and sending letters and whatever. And so he was really, really very helpful. And then when he didn't even really get sick. He was just getting really, really old, and she was taking care of him up until the very end. And she was really sick. Like the last year, she was diagnosed with cancer. And so she was already very sick herself, but she really, really took care of my father.
She was very lucky. They both were lucky to have each other.
Both were lucky, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, where do you find those, soulmates these days?
It happens sometimes.
Happens sometimes, yeah. Anya, I was gonna say, because how was she as a person?
Basically, both privately and professionally, you couldn't not notice her. I mean, she had a very, very magnetic personality, and you either hated her or loved her. So it's same on stage, same in real life. She had, when she made friends, those were friends for life. But sometimes she was very abrupt, and some people were actually afraid of her. But she could have been also very nice, very cheerful. So really, really, really both. But yeah, an interesting personality for sure. I mean, I met her when I was about 11, because that's when they got together. And in the beginnings were not easy, but then I warmed up to her, because she was inside, she was definitely a good person. And she was very demanding, actually both in work and in real life, but she was always super prepared for the rehearsals, for the shows. And so she would get really frustrated if somebody showed up unprepared.
E min vene se chiamarde presto brondo marcio pugnando vedo i bordi averci al campo, tra i leoni agnello s'avventa, non scampo il signor li spaventa, viva il re, la vittoria con me, viva il re, la vittoria con me, la vittoria, la vittoria, sì, la vittoria, la vittoria, con me, la vittoria, la vittoria, sì, la vittoria, la vittoria, con me, la vittoria, con me, la vittoria, con me, viva il re, la vittoria, con me.
Yeah, you said she was very demanding towards her colleagues. And I have heard that she especially could not tolerate unprepared conductors. I remember once attending her performance at Carnegie Hall when she was singing, I think, Orfeo, some arias from Orfeo, and the communication between her and the conductor, you could see it didn't work out. So suddenly she started doing her own things, and the orchestra and everybody started following her. It was really amusing. That's the personality
I
she
have
had.
a funny story about that. Where she did a concert with a very, very famous conductor that shall remain nameless, not named, and anonymous, let's say.
Yeah.
But quite famous, and they weren't really getting along. And he, at some point, he said, "Watch me." And she got really pissed off, and she said, "No, you watch me."
And she was right. She was right, you know.
But that was the first and last time that they performed together, obviously. She was so convincing in what she was doing that when you were listening to like her Clitemnestra, for example, or her Mahler or whatever, I mean, not to mention Rossini,
of course,
it often didn't really agree to with what was on the page. Yeah, so I mean, you know, it was her way or no way, but it made so much sense in terms of the words and in terms of what she meant and what she was saying, that if she had good partners, they were flexible, because first of all they had no choice, but also because they understood that her way is really, really compelling.
E mai trattata Che pezza! Che figura! Che pezza! Sapete voi
I really, of course, love her Rossini just because it's so impressive. So like in the beginning, she would sing all these coloraturas and they were like in such an incredible, insane tempo that like every time I play a audition or I play for somebody else, everybody's like, oh, please, please go slower, not so fast. But then of course her voice matured and I think, she really enjoyed acting.
Pour une femme de mon nom, quel temps, hélas, le temps de guerre, aux grandeurs sans dépense guerre, rien n'est sacré pour le canon. Je dis peine, je t'aimais, je le sens bien. Jusqu'au pur et la négrette, les
Also, not too many recordings, but of her.
No, unfortunately not. I don't really know why. She didn't really like recording so much because she preferred the live experience. And in the studio, she always got too picky and too frustrated and too analytical. And so when you do a show, you just do a show, and this is it. So,
whatever happens, it happens. Yeah,
exactly.
There's different energy, of course.
Absolutely.
She was so great in Gypsies.
She was so scary, so scary. Like in some of them, like I mean, it was really, really scary. So yeah, she was great.
zio, il tuo sangue, sangue mio, ogni stella che versi, tu la spremi dal mio cor, tu la spremi dal mio cor, tu la spremi dal mio cor, tu la spremi.
Yeah, she was great. She was great.
What a
And
dramatic character. What a talent. What a talent.
yeah, so it's hard to even pick one recording because it's such a wide range of things, you know. What I would really remember her, I mean, concerts, of course, and stage, of course, but like what I seem to remember most is because she really liked when she wasn't singing, she really liked good food and good wine and good company. So maybe it sounds bad because
What kind of wine was she drinking?
only red. But so I remember that wherever we traveled, they would always have a favorite restaurant, like a special restaurant where they always went, and she was always recognized. There's usually a picture of her on the wall with an autograph, and the owners would be like, "Hello, hello, Eva, Eva." And one particular time that I remember was also in Spain. She really liked performing in Spain. She had a very good agent and lots of times here, and they really liked her here. So, and her last show was in Barcelona in Teatr Liceu. And that was La Fille du Régiment of Donizetti, where she did this funny role. She was so funny, and she actually learned, I mean, she knew how to play the piano, but not very well.
Yeah.
And she was really practicing so that she actually played the piano. It was really, really funny. And we all knew it was her last show. So a lot of friends came to Barcelona to celebrate. And we went to their favorite restaurant in Barcelona was called Los Caracoles, which is this tiny little place in the old town of Barcelona. And we all went there with Mariusz Kwiecień, who happened to be in Barcelona as well. And lots of bottles of wine later, because the owner actually offered us like at least 3 bottles of wine on the house. They were singing in the restaurant. She was singing Carmen, Mariusz was singing God knows what. Like that's my most fun memory, actually, really.
So she enjoyed life. She enjoyed
she really did. And so did my dad. My dad always said ten najpiękniejszy ze światów, so like the most beautiful world that there is. And yeah, so you know, they traveled. It wasn't an easy life, but a lot of friends came always, and whenever they could, they were really spending time with friends, with people. Yeah, you know what's funny is that she always said that she had the worst voice in her family because her mother, which not too many people know, her mother was a singer, an alto, like a really, really deep voice, really deep alto, and she sang in the chorus at the opera in Warsaw. So my mom, when she was on stage back then, when Eva's mom was singing in the chorus, and sometimes she would even sing like the solo male roles because her voice was so low that people thought that it was a guy singing. Yeah, like really low though, like super low. And Eva had an older sister who also studied voice and then ended up not singing.
Oh, really?
And she had this beautiful deep alto voice.
So
And
it
so
depends on the
Eva
family.
like kind of grew up with a complex that her voice was like the smallest, the
This
least
oh my
interesting. Yeah.
gosh. Yeah.
So
What a way to think about. Yeah.
there's a little fun fact for you.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know that she came from a musical family, from the singer's family, and I didn't know that.
Yeah. Her mom was very creative. She was like also sewing dresses for her, and she wrote beautiful poems. So she was very, very artistic. Yeah.
And your mom also was a fantastic singer,
He had good taste in
and
women
in voices
and
too.
in voices. For me, it's just right now I'm still like trying to process it all. It's
I was
really
gonna
hard.
say for you must be very difficult because your father passed away just I think in November, right?
Yeah.
And she couldn't live without him, so you know.
No. I mean, first of all, she was sick, so we all knew this was coming. But she kind of gave up after he passed
Gave
away.
up.
There was no way it would get better. We were just trying to keep her as comfortable as possible, which was really hard.
Mhm.
So yeah, and I mean, you know, in 2 months, if you lose two close people and they leave such a void, you know, like for example, I'm in Madrid now, as I said, which was one of their favorite cities, and they both knew that I was coming here because I had this contract for like 6 months.
Yes.
And they were all, yes, this is so exciting. So you're going to send us pictures and say hello to our friends, and oh, you have to do this and do this, and then bring us jamon, you know, the ham, the Spanish ham, which they love.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden, like, it's all gone.
I think the world lost one of the greatest opera singer and also pianist because your father was very, very well known. We're definitely gonna miss both of them, extraordinary artists. And I wanna thank you very much for taking your time from busy schedule
Thank you.
and
Thank you for inviting
seeing me
me.
and talking to me.
Yeah, finally, after all these years. Right?
Finally, after these years.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ania.
Thank
Dziękuję
you.
bardzo. Dziękuję.
Dzięki.
Buźka.